You've betrayed the regiment. You've brought disgrace to the Hua family.
This movie brought disgrace to Disney. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Mulan since the new live action movie on Disney Plus, I guess, was out, and like I, of course, had a look at it, and personally, it's not the most terrible movie made. The biggest downfall was that they removed Mushu, but still animated some sort of a Mushu like spirit to protect Mulan when they literally had no purpose in the entire film. Like they were supposed to do like that, guiding Mulan to save the king, but it wasn't even that because the witch was also the eagle that somehow decided to side with Mulan in like the very end when they had like that was their third scene together. Like the first scene was when the eagle, like the witch, I'm gonna call her the witch because that's what everyone called her. The witch like threw a blade at her and somehow didn't kill Mulan, didn't even bother checking. And the second scene was when Mulan revealed that she was a woman. Then she was all alone, crying on the top of the cliff, and then the witch somehow got there and tried to make her go on her side. And Mulan said like, "I'm not you," and I'm like, well, "I'm not like you," basically, and left. And that wasn't even long enough for them to get us like a bond or something or someone. Still doesn't kill her, even though she refused to go on her side. And then the last scene they're together is when Mulan tries to go rescue the king, and she thinks he's at the palace, but he's not on his throne. It was actually the witch on his throne. And the witch and Mulan try, and you think the witch is gonna kill her, right? Because like they have no bond whatsoever, at least from what we've seen in the film. Like maybe they had a longer time together, we just never got to see it. But like she literally guides Mulan to where the king is, and then in the very end, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I suggest go watching it unless you don't want to waste your time. She gets killed for Mulan when the bad guy, so-called bad guy, like shoots an arrow in Mulan's direction coming. And like she's turned into an eagle and gets shot for Mulan, dies in Mulan's arm. Like even Mulan, the actress that was playing Mulan, did not seem so sympathetic about her death. Like it's like, of course she's not gonna be crying. Like they had 3 scenes together. The last scene, the third scene is when the witch dies in Mulan's arm, and I'm like, why did she, in the second scene, try and convince Mulan to go on her side, and then in the last scene they're together, she somehow gets convinced by Mulan's like very minuscule lines of like we are alike, but you can mend your mistakes, and then just somehow guides her and gets killed for her. Like just because Mulan's like somehow the only female in history that was similar to the witch. Like the witch was, we learned that the witch was actually very similar to Mulan in the past, and she wanted to be known as a warrior, and that's her whole purpose of joining the clan or whatever. But like she literally tried to convince Mulan to join her side with the clan, and Mulan said no. In the third scene, the last scene, she says a couple more lines and she gets convinced to join Mulan's side. Like it happens so quickly. Original animation, like they had, even though the film was about 1 hour and 55 minutes long, and the original is not that different, but still the original, we got to know each individual character, like what their personality is, and we had comic relief by like Mushu and the 3 friends of Mulan, but well, we don't get to see that. And I think a lot of people were upset that Li Shang, the general's son, was not involved in this film and was not Mulan's love interest, and that they switched Mulan's love interest to the other guy. They switched Mulan's love interest to Chan Hong. I guess, which is fine, but like if you're a fan of Li Shang and Mulan, like yeah, you would have hated that, and I get you, because I was upset about that too. But okay, it's fine, because in the original A Myth of China, for Mulan, I'm pretty sure that Li Shang was not Mulan's original love interest. And you know how Mulan had that chi, like that, like kind of mystical, like power she gets that men normally have in China. That was not in the original. It was just like there's no like even though Mushu's there and that's pretty mystical. Other than that, Mulan learned through her mistakes and became a warrior. But in this new film, she's great at everything already, so we don't see any mistakes, I guess, from her other than her revealing that she's a woman, I guess. But like the fact that they changed the love interest is a bit off to me because I can't even call it a love interest because you don't see much. Like even when she's revealed as a woman, the only like people that get somewhat a like show us a shocked reaction are these guys, and like how is that her love interest? Like yes, like not even 30 minutes later, like Mulan somehow convinces them, and her love interest says, "We believed her when she was a man. Why shouldn't we believe Mulan now when she's a real woman?" They first of all, they don't even kiss. So why should we believe they're a love interest? They could just be really good friends. Cause like there's nothing indicates that they are love interest just because he like you get that vibe that he's the love interest, but nothing happens. Like yes, she saves him from getting drowned by snow that she created to save China. Uh, like I don't know, like yeah, they have really good actors and actresses there. Just the problem is it's like a really summarized montage version of what Mulan is, like what story Mulan represents, and like you don't learn anything about the characters. Like that's the whole point of summary. Like you don't really learn each individual character's personalities and their relationships. Like, geez, Mulan got a sister in this one, but we learned nothing about her. And like I'm just thinking, like if her sister, like this sounds very dark, but if her sister got killed in the film with that relationship that we got from the film, like that's all we saw, I don't think anyone would have been upset. Like we would have felt just like watching the soldiers in the beginning of the film when the clan killed about every soldier and the witch possessed one of them, and I don't know what happens when she possesses them because it seems like every time she possesses someone they just dissolve. You know, I guess they just when they get possessed they're dead anyway because I don't see them anywhere else after she transforms back to herself because they just dissolve somehow. So I guess that's how it works. So, yeah. Well, overall, it's not a terrible movie. I think it's fine. It's just disappointing. They didn't have any they didn't have Mushu. That's the most disappointing part for me. And I think many people who grew up with Mulan, so did I. And they have no musical like most Disney live action films do, like Aladdin that was released this year, and I guess that's fine. That's fine. Like some people said they were just doing like a full-on drama film. That's also fine. It's Disney. It's Disney. Kids want to see music. Kids want to see Mushu. Like they want to see all of the original. Like it's just we don't get any relationship out of it. It's just a real blobbed up summary. Is that even a word? Blobbed up. Okay, it's a word anyway. It's in my dictionary now. It's a really blobbed up scenario, like summer. It's a summary of the entire myth of Mulan because we don't learn anything about characters. Like it's just, as I said, it's a summary. Very long montage summary. They could have taken out so many scenes and replaced it with others, and oh my gosh, it's an action movie, and I get that most action movies are like that. Action, action, action. It's Mulan. At least most action movies that are successful, their action Like their main focus is only action, so it looks great. And yes, this movie had great action, especially for a Disney film, but like they didn't just focus. Their purpose wasn't to focus on action only, or else it wouldn't have felt so bland entirely. Because if you're just focusing on one thing, like action movies, they focus on just action. It looks awesome. We're great about it. Like I mean, and even action movies, you get to learn something about each character. Like World War Z with Brad Pitt in it, that was a full-on action movie. I loved that movie. It was awesome. Like, geez, all those people. I was wondering, the first thing in my mind, how much, like, what was their budget? Like, geez, that was a lot of work. And yet Mulan, yes, well, I mean, it's not that shorter, but still, like, make the kids want to watch it. Like the review on this, like Rotten Tomato wise, it's good, but the critics, like the kids and the adults even, it's not so great. Like the 5 star on Google is the same as the 1 star. Like the ratio between them, it's 1 on 1. So other than that, if you enjoyed the movie, that's great. Because I like movies that some people really hate, so that's fine. My opinion is like I wish they would have worked on the overall storyline. They had a lot of time because I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be released like a year ago, so they had a lot of time. So it seemed very rushed. So I don't know what the director was doing, but hopefully the next live action movie won't. Hopefully the next live action wouldn't be like this. First East Asian representative movie for live action Disney, because like we had Aladdin, we had Cinderella, we had Beauty and the Beast. It's all great. Now I'm wondering what they're gonna do for Little Mermaid this time. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.